Yo, this is Soul Drum 86 bringing you another video. Yes, we're going to be talking about 2K, the state of gaming in general, um, a little bit of Ultra Pro Wrestling. I'm just going to be throwing it in there. But let's get to it, man. Again, this is another one of those videos where I just felt compelled to make it because of seeing the overwhelming content being made now with people playing My Faction. When My Faction was first introduced into 2K, nobody messed with it. It just wasn't like a lot of people were against it. People were upset, rightfully so, might I add, rightfully so. People were upset because they saw what it was turning into. And for a long time, I feel like a lot of players stood their ground. And, you know, more and more and more as 2K refuses to update certain parts of the game, like universe mode, actually making it something that is enjoyable, something that has a lot of meat to it. Instead of trying to seriously improve that, they have now taken their focus to My Faction. This is one of the things that I've tried to warn. I talk about it in other people's comment sections. A lot of other people like myself have tried to warn fellow gamers, fellow WWE fans of WWE games and all of this stuff. We tried to warn everybody that My Faction is going to be the thing that they focus on the most. A lot of people keep saying things like, well, they need to stop making this game for the PS4 and the Xbox One, and they just need to make it like next gen exclusive because then it can be better. Trust me, this is 2K we're talking about. And also, this is the WWE side of things, right? Not even the NBA side, where they at least kind of care enough to make an authentic basketball game, an authentic NBA experience, regardless of what the game is turned into. I got to give it that credit. But this is WWE we're talking about. If they go to eventually making this game solely on the current consoles, do not expect much of a change other than graphics, maybe a little bit of performance, but that's it. Nothing else will change. It's not like it will magically make my career better, the My Rise. It's not like it's going to make universe mode any better, because their focus now is My Faction. Why do you think they had, what's his name? Brian Williams. I think his name is Brian Williams, the developer that came back, how he was talking about, oh, it's my favorite mode to play. Is it really his favorite mode to play? Or was that PR to try to get people into playing My Faction more? I mean, seriously, this is a wrestling game. And just going by the general thoughts from people that I see on forums, on YouTube, social media, just all forms of social media, when people talk about wrestling games, there's specific things that people ask for. My Faction is not one of them. Even though more people are playing it now, My Faction is not one of them. You know, people like to create their own storylines. They like to book big time matches that might not happen in real life. They want to recreate that, but they want to do it in a storyline form. They want to create their own thing. They want to be Triple H, right? But just in a video game format. That's what they want to do. They want to take one of their favorite wrestlers and go through an extensive storyline that spans through a couple years. And there's different twists and turns, and the choices that you make actually make a difference. And they further the game experience to the point where, okay, I beat this season mode with Roman Reigns. Well, now I want to beat the season mode with Cody Rhodes. Well, now I want to beat the season mode with Bianca Belair. Now I want to beat season mode with CM Punk. It's bringing me back to play it over and over and over, because that's what we did when we played the old SmackDown games. Am I wrong? When we played SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, when we played WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy, you name it, we picked any and everybody that we liked, and we did the storyline mode over and over and over again, especially for the titles where things changed dependent on whether you lost, where it made a difference, or it didn't, you know, it actually made a difference in what you were doing, the progression of the storyline. So you didn't have to win every match. Your losses actually mattered. So if you lost the title, there was no redo. You lost the title. You know what I mean? These are the kind of things that people want to see in wrestling games. There's been so many good ideas from people in the community that, quite frankly, are going to be in Ultra Pro Wrestling, but yet 2K can't think to do any of this stuff. And it does sadden me to see so many people going towards the game mode that is going to further keep them from expanding or updating this game. We saw what happened with Madden. I haven't played NBA 2K in a long time, so I don't know what the menu takes you to immediately. I don't know what the cursor is highlighted on immediately when you turn on NBA 2K. But when you turn on Madden, the first thing that it is on is Ultimate Team. It highlights Madden Ultimate Team. There's a reason why it's on this screen right now. I just turned on WWE 2K before I started recording, and we're all met with this screen for my faction. We're all met with it. So if you're not careful and you just press X to jump to my faction, they're more aggressive about it in 2K because, look, I can't just back out and quit. I can't just back out and quit. Now, at least with EA, Madden allows you to back out of my Ultimate Team if you don't want to play Ultimate Team. They at least allow you to back out of it. But whatever happened to the days where it was on quick play first and you had to go to the modes that you wanted to go to? But these games are making it where it's highlighting you on the moneymaker. It's highlighting you on the moneymaker, the one with all the microtransactions. The one where you got to either grind or you got to spend a lot of your real money in order to enjoy the mode. WWE 2K is they're re-releasing characters that have been in the game previously through my faction. How dirty is that? It was already bad enough when there's wrestlers that will be available as the default character, and then when they're taken out, once they're back in the game, then they're DLC again. That doesn't happen for all of the characters, but that's happened over time. That happened with Rikishi a couple times, where Rikishi was in the game, and then you had to buy Rikishi, and I was like, wait a minute, but Rikishi was in the game by default the last time, and now I got to buy him? 2K is known for doing that, but now they're starting to do it in my faction. That's why the Jean-Paul Levesque, I downloaded from What's the Status, because I'm not about to play my faction to get a character that was in last year's 2K. Triple H is like the man in WWE now. He's running the show. Why don't we have all of his gimmicks available to us in this game? That boggles my mind. We don't have the DX Triple H after Shawn Michaels left after WrestleMania 14 with the My Time entrance theme. We don't have that Triple H. We like never get that Triple H. We barely get that Triple H. We don't have the Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick. They went all the way back to his WCW days to give us the Jean-Paul Levesque character and not Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Now, granted, he's like the same guy, but still, like the gimmick was pretty much the same, but still, like, why are we not getting these things? You know, but then they'll just give it to us with with my faction. And then it just makes you wonder, how aggressive is this going to get? All of the people that we have available, well, they're not going to be available in this game. They're not going to be DLC. But if you play my faction, we got them here. That's just going to drive more and more people to go to community creations. But then here's the catch with community creations. Say you don't buy the DLC. If a creator has used some DLC parts to create a wrestler, you can't download it because you don't have the DLC. It's just like if you don't play through My Rise and they make a character with stuff that you unlock in My Rise, you can't download that wrestler. So there's all these hangups with WWE 2K. There's a lot of hangups with this game. And with all of these bigger YouTubers and all of these content creators making content and talking about my faction, getting into my faction, talking about persona cards, the more and more you do this, the more and more it will turn WWE 2K into Madden, into NBA 2K. But it already is those games. And I've said this before. I've said it on this channel before. I've said it in comment sections before. WWE 2K is what Madden is to EA. You You know how long it took EA to get a decent franchise mode? And it's still decent. It's still not as good as franchise mode was back in the PS2 days. It's still not as good. Is it way better than what it used to be? Absolutely. Without question. It's way better than what it used to be. But it took so long to get to the point that they're at now. The cutscenes are nice, but there's no voiceovers. That kind of hurts it a little bit. But I do appreciate some of the things that they've added. But then again, it's like the reason why everything just feels so half-assed, even with Madden, is because they're all about Madden Ultimate Team. That's the goal. NBA 2K, they're banking on people making multiple builds. I miss the days where I played NBA 2K and everybody made one build. Now everybody's making multiple builds. You know how much money these dudes are spending? It already costs like 50 to 75 just to make your player an 85, and nobody does the grind. Some people will do the grind, but not everybody grinds out because it takes a long time. So when you're making like 5 different characters, that's over time. That's a lot of money, man, to spend on a game that is going to come out the following year at the same time. So you're spending all of this money. And today, just because I wanted to look at it again, I went to Ultra Pro Wrestling's website, and I looked at what they have in that game. And it's so ambitious. It just feels like a love letter to wrestling fans. It feels like a love letter to people who, and I know you guys know some people like this. Hell, you might be one of them that I'm talking to. I know personally people in my life who have not been big wrestling fans like me, but they love the wrestling games. You know how many people I used to talk to in school? When I was in middle school, when I was in high school, even elementary school, there would be people. I had my wrestling fans too. That was just like me playing these games. But there would be a ton of people who would play these games every single year, but they really weren't big wrestling fans. They didn't tune in every week. They didn't watch it like I watched it. They didn't watch the pay-per-views or nothing like that. They like knew Stone Cold and The Rock because they were big time. They knew those people. They knew DX, but like they really weren't into wrestling. But they loved playing SmackDown versus Raw. They loved playing those games. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. They were into it. And it's like, man, Ultra Pro Wrestling. I mean, look, the fact that you can turn your character heel or face, and it's your choice on when you want to do it. You can build relationships with wrestlers, so if somebody interferes in your match, you can get help from somebody that you've made friends with. And then there's the whole thing of like, if you join a certain faction, are you willing to change your look and your gimmick to fit that faction? Alluding to the fact that they might have storylines like the corporate, right? Like remember Vince McMahon's the corporate and everything, like the corporate ministry and all of that stuff. Like they were like, because in one of the write-ups it said, remember, not everybody looks good in a suit. So you have all of these choice-based things that are going to be in the storyline mode. This legacy, I want to say they call it legacy career mode in Ultra Pro Wrestling, and it's going to span throughout decades. It's going to start in the 80s, 90s, and get into the early 2000s, and I don't know where it goes from there. But I just love the fact that you can actually have a wrestler that you create and you can take them through this experience. You can either create a character or pick one of the characters that are already in the game, which is one of the options that I love the most in these wrestling games because I am not good at creating characters. This is why I talk about Ultra Pro Wrestling so much. I'm excited for what Wrestling Code has to bring, but that game is so early still in its development, they really don't even talk about it much. They're just kind of doing their work behind the scenes, and which is fine. I'm not stressing about that. But Ultra Pro Wrestling. Oh, when they talked about the creative player, they said they said the creative player is going to be so detailed you can create wrestlers from the past and present. And I believe the developer of the game said that they're going to do a community creations. I'm just saying, man, Ultra Pro Wrestling is looking good. Like, I know that the game has to turn out great, right? We don't know how good it's going to be. There's always that possibility that it could be a dud. There's that possibility that it could be a nice try, no cigar situation. But then there's also that possibility that this game might really be it might really be good. It's starting to look a lot better every time they show videos where they show like the move sets during the Creator Wrestler. Everything is starting to look so good. The game looks so much cleaner than it did when they showed that first showcase. It looks like it's moving a little bit faster from that demo, or just from the demo of showing all of the move sets that they've been like releasing. But the reason why I'm bringing up Ultra Pro Wrestling is because I'm looking at that game, right, from this small company, right, this independent company, and their focus is wrestling driven. That's their focus. Lionel Jinx and them cats, my faction. So many fans keep screaming for Universe Mode to be good. Just make Universe Mode good, guys. We're going to buy your game. Just make Universe Mode good. We love your game. Just make Universe Mode good. It's why I play it. We need more. We need more. We need more. 2K says, we got my faction. We got my faction. A lot of people don't like my rise. My rise is tedious. Going through the what is it? The cell phone thing where you're looking through your DMs and you got to look to your left, to the middle, to the right of you, and talk to different people. It's just it's boring. Some of the cutscenes are cool, but it's boring. I didn't finish it this year. I can't finish it. I've tried. I've tried to restart it because I'll stay away from it for so long. My favorite thing to do in this game is to do old school matches. That's my favorite thing to do. That's it. That's it. And yes, I still do enjoy that part of the game. So I still upload them. I still love doing that part of the game. I still love playing that part. But at the end of the day, I miss what I used to play wrestling games for. I miss a cool a cool career mode. I miss season mode. I miss Road to WrestleMania. It's such a missed opportunity because when you look at how beautiful WWE 2K looks graphically, when you look at all of the graphical details, there's so much that they could do. Just imagine what we used to get in wrestling games before, but with 2K graphics, it would be the best. I'm about to end this video soon, but I want to bring up again. I brought this up in a video a while ago. I brought this up where Austin Creed, Xavier Woods on his Up Up Down Down channel, he did a poll and he interviewed a bunch of wrestlers. Now it was quick cuts. He interviewed a bunch of wrestlers, right? Male and female. Anybody who used to play wrestling games. I remember Alexa Bliss being on there. This was back when Samoa Joe was with WWE. Samoa Joe was on there. I believe Johnny Gargano was on there. It was a bunch of different wrestlers, right? NXT, SmackDown, Raw. And the topic was, what is your favorite wrestling game of all time? Do you know? Nobody said a 2K game. Nobody. Not even Xavier Woods. Nobody said 2K. And I was waiting. I was waiting for somebody to say, oh, WWE 2K 16 or WWE 2K 19. Nobody said a 2K game. I said this before in the video. If we all had the ability to go back in time and talk to the kid version of ourselves and and show them what games look like, but then tell them that the wrestling games won't be better than what you're playing now, the kid version of ourselves wouldn't believe us. They'd be like, nah. I mean, look at how that looks, though. Compared to what I'm playing now, I don't even want to play this no more. You mean to tell me that in 2024, there's no wrestling games better than SmackDown Here Comes the Pain? We don't have a better experience than No Mercy or SmackDown versus Raw 2007 or 6? Like, what? And be like, yeah, no, we don't have anything better. They got rid of season mode. They don't they don't have Road to WrestleMania, but they do have my faction. My faction. A game mode that for a couple years 2K people were kind of standing strong. Even the creators were standing strong. I'm not messing with this mode. I'm not touching this mode, man. No. Because I want universe mode to be better. I'm not touching this. I want Road to WrestleMania. I'm not touching my faction. We know what this is. All of a sudden it went to, I paid for this. I paid for that. Well, they got this that you can get, and I really want this. Oh, they got the Rock. I want to buy this, even though you can download them on Community Creations, but I want the authentic thing. Oh, well, is his entrance music different? Nope, it's not the Final Boss entrance music. It's the regular Rock entrance music. Oh, but you can customize him though. You can customize like his outfit and everything. No, you cannot. So guys, look, man. I look. I don't know. At this point, I'm just excited for Ultra Pro Wrestling because right now my money is on the game that is focusing on wrestling. My faction isn't wrestling related. My faction is all about us either grinding to the point where we get sick of the grind and we spend money, our real money. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always about. All of these annual release titles that have gotten big, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Madden, it's going to soon happen with college football, and college football is pretty dope, but it's going to soon happen with college football. So mark my words, it's going to start next year. They already have a college like ultimate team thing. You don't think that that's going to get, trust me, that's their bread and butter. So that's what they're going to do. The reason why these games don't get better is because they don't care about making the game better. They don't care about the wrestling portion of the game. That's why certain details are still missing in 2K that should be in 2K. Stacking tables upon tables on each other. Doing the fun things that we were able to do in the games in the past. The reason why we can't do them now, the reason why there's no weapon physics, is because they don't care. It's not because they didn't have time. It's not because of any kind of technical BS that they'll try to spill to you. There's a reason for all of this. There's a reason why universe mode isn't good. They're not getting shot down from, I mean, maybe they are getting shot down from ideas and the higher up saying like, nah, forget that. But still, overall, it's been so long. It's been so long, and we haven't even really had incremental changes to universe mode. It just honestly seems to get worse. They can't even make it available for us to do PLEs on Saturday. Pretty soon it's not going to matter because I heard WWE is going to go back to Sunday live events anyway. So all the premium live events are going to be back on Sunday because of TKO. Because UFC has Saturday. No WWE. WWE is not allowed. They're not allowed. I don't know, man. I didn't mean to make this video long, guys, but like, I get passionate about this and I love talking with you guys about it. You know, I'm not trying to rant. I'm not trying to rant, man. It's really a discussion. And I just, like I said, I'm saddened at the fact that there's so many people now getting into my faction. And it's like, it's a testament to how bland 2K has gotten, because if 2K had a lot for you to do and it had some meat on the bones, nobody would be playing my faction. People would be dabbling in universe mode. I heard somebody else say it, and I said it before too. The funnest moments that I have with universe mode is setting everything up. But once it's time to actually get going, I get bored because I know that, like, I know what's coming. I know the cutscenes. I know the storyline. Like, there's no surprises. And it doesn't feel like I'm watching a show. I'm a small channel. I've talked about how I would prefer universe mode to make it feel like you're actually watching an episode of Raw or watching an episode of NXT or SmackDown. You know, make it feel authentic. But 2K doesn't pride themselves on giving us the authentic WWE experience. We know that because they don't even switch out the commentators. Like my last video where I was talking about the commentator situation. They don't even respect us enough to, hey, let's add in multiple commentator teams, make the game feel fresh, make the game feel new. You can't even do that. The reason why they can't, the reason why they won't do that is because it is all about my faction and your money. It's all about your money. That's why they shut the servers down on these games so quick. Oh, you're going to buy the new game. You got that FOMO, don't you? That's what they bank on. They bank on us having FOMO. Listen, man, there's a reason why I keep preaching that this channel is more than just 2K. It is wrestling action figures. It is wrestling talk. It is going to be the wrestling code. It is going to definitely be Ultra Pro Wrestling. When that game comes out, trust and believe there will be content upon content upon content on that game. 2K content is not going to necessarily go away, but it is going to get to a point, maybe even starting next year, where I'm not going to get 2K until it goes on sale. They haven't shown me a reason why I should get the game. I got in the game this year because of the 40 years of WrestleMania. I'm a sucker for old school wrestling. I'm a sucker for anything from the 80s to like the mid 2000s and even the 2010s, man. I'm a sucker for it. I am a sucker for it, man. I will gladly admit that, man. That's why I got so hype on this one. Because I waited last year. Last year's 2K I didn't get immediately. I didn't get that game immediately. But I got this one because of the 40 years of WrestleMania. And then, too, they did add in the match types that they added in. But it's going to come a time where the gamers like me are going to gravitate towards companies who are prioritizing wrestling. Not this, what you see on the screen now. Not this. I don't want you to take my money. I want to play your game. You know, everybody, you know, that phrase that everybody says when they see something cool, take my money, take my money. I just want to play your game. That needs to be the new thing. When a game comes out, when NBA 2K comes out, I just want to play your game. I'm already going to spend the $75 to get the game. That's my money right there. That's my money right there. Just give me a great experience that I can play for a decent amount of time. Doesn't have to be hours upon hours in a day. We all got stuff we got to do. But I don't want to get bored of your game in 2 weeks. That's what I don't want. I'd rather play your game for a little bit on a weekly basis and continue to play it and happily play it for a while, as opposed to, all right, well, now everything's died down now. I'm not having fun anymore. Not having fun. But anyways, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content, man. More videos to come, more matches to come, and all of this other stuff, man. But again, this was on my mind, and I had to talk about it. I'm sorry this video was so long, but if you stuck with your boy through the whole thing, you know I gladly appreciate it. This is your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.